Let's launch a website in just minutes. From picking a platform, selecting a domain, setting up your SEO, setting up your design of your website, and your tracking and analytics for your website, all just within a few minutes. So let's jump into it and get started and build your first website. So the first thing that you're going to have to do when designing and building a website is obviously go and select the platform. You're going to need a couple different things. You're going to need a budget from $0 to around $40 to set up for your website hosting, which essentially pays for the servers and the platform that that website lives on. You're also going to need a little bit of a budget there to buy your own professional domain, such as yourdomain.com or whatever you want it to be. Second thing, you're going to need to once again pick that platform. So there are a bunch of different platforms out there that you can actually build a website on. But some of the main platforms are kind of WordPress, Shopify, Framer, Socialverse, Webflow, Wix, Squarespace, and a few others. So some of these are the most popular website building platforms that are out there. Now, depending on what platform you're going to actually want to build on, depends on the use case. What type of website are you building? Are you building a simple one-pager? Are you building a full CMS website? Are you building an e-commerce website? What are you building? So if you're building an e-commerce website, you're going to want to pick a platform just like Shopify because it's one of the best platforms out there for building e-commerce websites. Now, if you're building some sort of CMS platform, you may want to choose Framer or Webflow. Or if you're building some sort of service-based business website, so a platform like Socialverse, Framer, Wix, Squarespace, or even WordPress would be perfect just for that. So you need to think about what platform you're going to use based on what use case or what type of website you're actively actually trying to build. So let's move into it even further. The next thing you're going to want to do is once you have picked that specific platform that you're working to build on, you're going to want to head over to a platform like Namecheap or GoDaddy or any other domain provider and actually purchase a domain for your website. Once you've purchased a domain, you're going to be able to take and connect that domain to the website builder that you have selected. And all that is just editing and adjusting a couple DNS settings inside of your domain. Once you have actually selected a platform, bought your domain, now you're going to be able to actually go into the platform and actually get started. So the first thing with actually going into the platform and getting started is maybe starting from scratch, or you could start from one of the pre-built templates that those platforms offer. Now, almost every website builder out there actually has pre-built templates that you can sign up for and select to basically give you a kickstart for your business. So in today's example, we're going to use the platform called Socialverse. And Socialverse offers a bunch of templates, just like all of the other platforms out there. You're able to go in and select a template and then basically build a new website. You can name your website, and then once you have named your website and actually created your project, you're then able to go in and edit your branding of that template, the colors of that template, any text, any images, and everything else to do with that website. So what are some core elements that you should have on your website? Well, some things that you should think about is having a homepage, which basically tells everything about that business that you've got going on and showcases all the services or products that you may offer. Second thing is you could have a direct service page that once again goes over those same things. You should also have some sort of contact page where people can reach out to you. You could have an about page, which tells you more. You could have your legal pages, such as your privacy policy and terms and conditions, and other legal pages that your business may need based on whatever industry you're in. As well as you could have some sort of get an estimate page. So if you're running a service-based business or something that collects estimates to give estimates out, you could set up an estimate page for your website. And those are kind of some of the core main pages that websites will have. And obviously every website is going to be different. So the type of pages you have will depend on what type of website you're building. A couple other things you may want to make sure to have is, once again, have those forms on your website. Make sure you have some sort of call to actions or buttons on your website. What is the main call to action? Do you want people to click a button to call you? Do you want people to click a button to fill out a form? What is the action and what is the call to action, the CTA, that you want on your website? So always keep that in mind. You also want to make sure your website is accessibility and has everything that you need for that as far as people accessing it. You want to make sure it's mobile friendly, it's fast. You also have any SMS or email automations you want connected to that, because obviously reaching out to the customer, getting in touch with them as fast as possible, and keeping follow-ups is very important for having a high conversion rate for your website, which obviously that is the end goal with every single website, is making sure you are converting clicks to customers. So you want to make sure you have all that, your performance set up as far as fast loading site, you don't have anything that's slow, you have high quality images, everything like that to do with your website you want to make sure you have done. So when you're also launching a website, you want to make sure you have all of your SEO basics covered. And if you don't know, SEO stands for search engine optimization. Basically, instead of just your website, you need to think about this throughout anywhere you're posting and creating content for your brand. But it's essentially taking the keywords that people may search for when trying to find your product or services online and actually trying to rank and create content for that. So take those searches and keywords that people may search and create content around that, and make sure everything you do with creating content, website, social media, whatever it is, making sure it's SEO optimized. For your website, that's going to have your page titles set up, have your page meta description set up, have your H1 tags, H2 tags, etc., all set up for every single page on your website. So another thing that you're going to want to make sure you have all set up on your website is your analytics and tracking side of things. So you want to be able to track the data and track the analytics for your website and how people are using it, where they're coming from, because that allows you to make smarter marketing decisions and essentially just know the insides of how people are finding your website and how they're using it and what's working and what's not, so you can then build off of that. So you're going to want to set up Google Analytics. You're going to want to also connect your website to Google Search Console and submit your sitemap to Google Search Console. You're also going to want to set up Bing Webmaster and basically do all of the analytics side set up for your website that allows you to track everything, see everything, and overall, once again, make smarter marketing decisions. So last thing, what you need to make sure you have done for your website, and a quick launch checklist, is make sure you have the right platform selected, you have the best domain set up, you have all of your SEO optimization done that you actually need to have for your website so people can actually find and discover your website all organically when they're searching for that product or services online. You need to make sure you have your CTAs, once again, call to action set up for your website. So what is the action that you want the user to take when they land on your website? What do you want them to do? Make sure you have that set up. Make sure you have plenty of CTAs throughout your website. Make sure you have all of your pages set up that you need, the core pages. Make sure you have a favicon set up. Make sure you have your 404 pages set up, so if they land on a page that doesn't exist, you can redirect them to the place that they should be going. Make sure it's fast loading, because if a site is not fast loading, one, Google's not going to want to rank it, and two, visitors aren't going to want to use your website. So make sure you have a fast loading website. Make sure you have high quality images. Make sure your website flows and makes sense. Make sure you also have a workflow set up. So once you have that call to action set up, say it's filling out a form. Well, once they fill out that form, what are you going to do on your back end? Do you have email or SMS automations that are set up to take the next step? Or do you manually reach out? Think about the workflow that you're going to have set up for your specific business and whatever call to action it may be. So have your workflow set up and know what you're going to do once a person takes that call to action. Because that way, when someone does call you or fills out a form, you've already got the workflow mapped out and you're ready to convert that click into a customer as fast as possible. So make sure you have all of your back-end systems set up to basically, once again, take that click to a customer in the shortest amount of time possible. So once you have actually selected that platform, connected a domain, built your website, done all of the things in that quick checklist, you're going to want to publish your website. Once you've published your website, you're not necessarily done. You want to now go and keep updating your website with new content, new blogs, all keeping SEO friendly in mind. So the next thing you're going to want to also do is, once again, keep updating it with new FAQ, new images, basically making sure you're always updating your website, because search engines allow and like to see when businesses are actually updating their websites often. So make sure you keep doing that, working on that monthly, working on your SEO monthly to keep ranking higher on search engines, and also just making sure you're keeping your website up to date with industry standards and much more. But overall, that's going to be a quick video on launching a website as quick as possible, just in a few minutes. So if you have any questions over anything we went over today, or want to get help on picking a platform to use for your website, comment all below. I'll be happy to help you guys out. And make sure you guys check out all the links in the description, because everything we've covered in this video is actually going to all be down in the description, and links to each specific platform that I may recommend. Till next time, see you guys later.